So I'd like to say cheers, but first we have to open this bottle. And the reason I'm waiting for this is because I got this from one of my fans who's also done some consulting work, a really, really dynamic person named Sayako.
Yeah.
And she actually sent this sake, this Katsuragi from it's the finest sake from Umenoyado in Nara.
Okay.
And she's done work promoting them. So I don't know what she does. She is like a consultant, marketing, promoter person. She does all sorts of things. And it's so cool. But yeah, so she's working with Umenoyado, and she wanted to send this to us. And this is the Umenoyado Junmai Daiginjo with Yamada Nishiki 100%.
Dude, this just hit all the keywords that I like.
I know, right?
Junmai Daiginjo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So let me read the message.
I'm excited for this.
So she sent a message to us. So while I'm reading this, you can open this if you want and pour.
Okay.
But it says Konnichiwa, kochira wa Nara no shizou meika Umenoyado Masaiko mine no Nihonshu Katsuragi. Is that Katsuragi, right? Oh yeah, she wrote down here. And then let's see. So I actually can't read what she wrote down here. But yeah, this is a special bottle that's made for special people. I'm just gonna read the English one because
special bottle for special people.
So her writing is nice, but I don't know some of the words in what she's writing. So here we go. So she said, Katsuragi is a special bottle often chosen for occasions for welcoming honored guests and offering heartful hospitality. As someone who has been active in Japan for many years, we wanted to send this to you, Arthur, and hope you'll enjoy it. Best regards, Sayako.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, dude, I'm getting the aroma from this.
Dude, I just took a whiff and I'm like,
yeah, I'm not even.
This is gonna be good.
You just put this down on the table and there's there's a few feet between me and this thing, and I just
every
smell it.
now and then we get a bottle on this channel.
Yeah.
That you just know it's gonna be good,
dude.
And I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah. So, I mean, for people on our podcast, they can't see it, but people watching our YouTube, you can see how far my nose is from the choco down here.
Yeah.
And I'm getting this already. So, cheers, man.
Cheers
to this.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. This goes
like
down
that a lot.
smooth.
It's so good.
Yeah. You know, what's funny about this, because when I open new sake, I actually don't like to drink it right away because I feel like the taste of the alcohol is more pronounced. But with this one, we just opened it, right? And it was so strange because it feels like it's going to hit that alcohol bite at the end that I'm expecting, but then it kind of lays off of that.
A little bit.
Yeah. So so this goes down really smooth.
Yeah. Man.
Sayako, I know this is probably expensive, but I hope you can send us another one.
Dude, this is going to get drank so fast.
I got to tell you, so I normally like sake from Tohoku, and so from Kyoto, Nara, and anything kind of around that area or more south, I try to avoid that because I've never found sake that really fits my palate. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
So for any of you guys who want to send us some sake, there's a link in the description of this video or this podcast episode where you can send us sake just like Sayako did. And we'd love to explore more sake.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I'm going to be honest, don't feel like you need to get us expensive stuff. I drink the 1 cup ozeki.
Yeah, I think it's
1 cup ozeki. I'm not going to say every day, but at least once or twice a week, I'll grab one of those from the convenience.
Yeah,
I love the taste. I think it's really, really delicious sake, to be honest.
And also, I'm going to send this video to Sayako today, so a couple months before people actually get to see it on the YouTube channel.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sayako. So today, while we're enjoying this great sake, we're also going to talk about workplace meetings in Japan and why.
Oh my
so many.
God.
So I wanted to kind of start off with an experience that I had that totally changed how I saw business culture in Japan and made me never want to work in a Japanese company. So back in 2016, at that time I had probably 20,000 subscribers or something on my main YouTube channel. And I got an invite from the Dijicho, from the director of a school up in Aomori. I'm not going to say the name of the school because it's not a good story, I'm sure. But so he said that he wanted me to come up to help develop an English program for his school. I said, awesome. Sure. So we talked once online about some details. He said, yeah, when you come to Aomori, we'll talk more in detail. And then I meet him the day we get to Aomori, and he takes us out. That's the first place I actually had denshu. That was the first sake I've ever had that I liked. And he introduced that to me, and I said, okay, so what kind of thing do you want to work? He's like, no, business tomorrow. And so I was like, okay, cool. So then the next day we wake up, and I go to the school, and it's me, him, my wife Natsumi, and about 4 of the higher ranked like teachers there sit together to have a meeting about what kind of a program this is.
Sure. Your family was in on this?
Well, Natsumi was there. Natsumi was there with me.
Oh,
she was in my video. She would help me film and stuff.
Oh, so I guess she was like
she was part of Uconnect at that time. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But so
I do remember seeing her in your older videos.
Yeah. And so so I get there, and I'm expecting this meeting to talk about the program.
Yeah.
And what unfolds before me just like blew my mind. It was 30 minutes of just the Digicho talking, going on a monologue, talking about how he knew me, why he liked me,
I know
what kind of a school this is, why he thinks it would be great to work together. And no one says anything, and he doesn't ask any questions. He just talks about his thoughts for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he looks around and says, so guys, what do you think? You think this is a good idea? No words. Everyone just communicates with their eyes. Sure, whatever the Digicho-san says. And he said, okay, that's it. No details, no direction forward. Just decided, okay, we are going to start discussions with Arthur about doing this English program at a later date. And I was so confused because I had already had that discussion with him, and I'd come all the way to Aomori to talk about details, and nothing happened. And I remember leaving thinking, what just happened? Why did I come all the way here? We could have done this on like a phone call.
Man. Like, I feel like I've lived your story so many times over the past years, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I will say, in my experience, it's gotten better.
Yeah.
I think when I first got to Japan about 10 years ago, my experience was very, very similar to what you're describing, where basically you show up to a meeting and first of all, the meeting is never convenient. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I would go to school meetings, which would always take place at like 4:30 or 5.
Oh, yeah. Kind of
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it like usually was on like a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like on like a Thursday or Friday. It's like, well, you know, we finished this meeting at like 5:30. I guess you want to go get drinks or something. I'm already out.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, no, it was a Tuesday or Wednesday. You got work the next day. Like, you're not going to go out and get drinks or kind of decompress after this. You're just going to leave at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're just going to go home and wake up for work again.
Yeah.
But we would get to these meetings, and basically the entirety of the meeting would just be reading a PowerPoint, or not a PowerPoint, a PDF that got sent to the entire faculty like the day before. And it was like,
any questions?
Yeah, there's an email, and then it was like verbatim. They would be like, okay, well, here's the PDF. An hour and a half later. Okay, guys. Well, yeah, so that's the PDF thing, and so this is the plan. And cool. All right, everybody. That's
like,
it.
No discussion?
Yeah. And it would just be like, I would just sit there stunned in the meeting, like in just complete disbelief of that I just experienced this.
Yeah.
It was like, it was like somebody put like a documentary of like basket weaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is the level of energy that was in that meeting.
Yeah.
And something that used to drive me insane was we would have morning meetings, right? And the morning meeting would be 8 a.m. sharp.
Yeah.
It would start. And these meetings would drone on.
Yeah.
Because there was actually participation from the teachers in this. But like, there would be an announcement, and then a teacher would ask a question like, what are we supposed to do for this thing going on today? And then there would be like a 5-minute discussion on that, and another teacher would be like, well, what am I? Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're gonna love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur Friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot. As a friend of ours, you will get each episode ahead of time with no ads, so you can watch before anyone else. But not just that, you can ask us questions or leave comments, and we will make a special video each week answering questions and responding to comments. These videos will not be released publicly. They are for friends, members only. It's a great way for you to ask our opinions directly and for us to respond directly. You'll also get listening practice questions and answers that you can check. Answers are for friends, members only. Oh, and anaume mondai mo desu ne. So you can check your listening. But not just that, for each episode, you'll get a list of native phrases we said from the video, along with practice sentences and pronunciation practice to help your speaking as well. You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not.
This is a great way to support our show, but also get closer to us and improve your English as well. For more information, click on the link in the description box, the gayorang, or go to our website, austinandarthur.com.
And then there would be like a 5-minute discussion on that, and another teacher would be like, well, what is my role? What am I supposed to do? And this would happen every single morning.
Mhm.
And like every time I would experience these morning meetings,
Yeah.
I would just be thinking to myself, like, if you guys just like, I don't know, sent an email just telling people what they need to be doing,
Yeah.
we could just skip this.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this. We don't have to spend 30 minutes in the morning
Yeah.
just talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, just be like, hey, this is happening today. This person's doing this.
Yeah.
This person's doing this.
Yeah.
This person's doing this. Make sure you read the PDF.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
You just saved like 5 working hours a week
Yeah.
for everybody
Yeah.
because they don't have to deal with this crap.
Yeah.
Recently it's gotten a little bit better.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like the new place that I work at, they're pretty efficient with meetings.
Yeah, but so don't you have like a non-Japanese person kind of heading the department or something?
Yeah, I mean the school's still ran by a Japanese staff, but the school that I work at now is a Catholic school, and just being a Catholic school, they're kind of innately more international than Japanese schools, right?
Mhm.
And then we also have an international program, so like we've got a lot of international teachers working, and they're like pretty high level up in the school at this point. And the school's very willing to work with them, which is a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of effort that the school has done to like adopt more international like working practices. And one of the big ones is just, hey guys, here's this channel that in our group chat for all the teachers. Announcements go here. Check the announcements when there's an update.
Yeah.
There's usually like some kind of file that you should look at. Okay, once a week the school will have meetings. The meetings will literally just go 1 hour, and that's it. And they are relevant, and there's the entire purpose of the meeting is to basically get everybody on the same page and discuss them.
Yeah, right.
They're not reading a PDF and just sending
the
you on
idea is
your
that
way.
you've read the PDF beforehand.
Yeah. And then so another thing, morning meetings. This is the real kicker, man. Dude, you want to know how long morning meetings are?
How long?
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
How?
It's crazy.
Well, so I feel like if you're going to do a 2-minute meeting,
you
just shouldn't have one.
Well,
like, what happens?
It's basically just like the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why you have like ISOTs in a class.
Yeah.
Right. So at the beginning, like, most of our viewers are Japanese, so they know what I'm talking about. But for our few international people that are listening, the way a class starts in Japan
Mm-hmm.
is the bell rings
Mm-hmm.
and you have what's called aisatsu, right? So everybody stands up and
And aisatsu
greets.
means greeting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
greets you. You know, usually the class leader leads it, but if there's no class leader, the teacher will lead it. And basically, you greet each other.
Mhm.
So, you know, the students will greet the teacher will greet the students, and that's it. And a lot of international teachers that I see when they first come to Japan, they're like, "Oh, this is so like structured. This is dumb. I'm not going to do it." And it's like, I tell them the same thing every time. You need to have it in class.
Mhm.
You need it. Even if you're not Japanese, you need to follow that rule and have it in class. And the
Right.
reason why is it rewires a person's brain to
Mhm.
go, this is class time.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on learning.
Yeah.
This isn't playtime. And it literally changes the person's
It's a
mindset.
reset.
And I think morning meetings, even if they're just a couple minutes,
Yeah.
it does the same thing for adults.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you have your morning meeting. It's like, all right, cool. I'm starting my work day.
Mhm.
Right? So I think there is a necessity with it. But basically, that morning meeting ends up being like, hey, guys, here's the events that are going on today.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Okay.
You don't explain them. It's like this, and this are happening.
Mhm.
You guys should already know about this. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by
Mhm.
explaining it all again. These are happening today. Done.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because so you know, I have weekly meetings for UConnect
Yeah.
with my staff, and all of them are freelancers, and one of them is my accountant. She works for multiple companies.
Yeah.
But I remember because I would have my weekly meetings, and I was always very conscious that I'm using everyone's time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not 30 minutes; it's 30 times 6.
Dude.
You know,
Yes.
that's how much
Yeah.
time I'm using.
Yeah.
So I would tell people, you know, your time is important. The meeting's going to be short, but this is important because it gives us face time to talk about things. It's going to be discussion based. I'm going to try to get this done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And so I would always finish my meetings at 30 minutes. Well,
Yeah.
On days we had important discussions, 45 minutes.
Sure.
And I remember my accountant, she still works with me now. She's been working with me for like 6 years. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to say her name but yeah, so she was telling me, you know, Arthur, your meetings are so short and so much more productive than all my other companies. You know, I actually talked to my other companies. They say like they have meetings for 2 hours and we don't talk about anything. And I said, I work for one company and we just have a short discussion for 30 minutes, then we're done. Why can't we do that at this company? You know?
Yeah, dude, I think like I've had a lot of different opinions on meetings over the years. Because I remember, I think we've brought this book up on the channel before, the 4-Hour Work Week book.
Right. Yeah.
I think we've mentioned it, but like one of the big parts of the 4-Hour Work Week, this is the book, not like actual 4-Hour work weeks, but one of the big parts of that book is how the guy hates meetings.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like this whole chapter talking about how much he hates meetings, and basically he does everything he can to avoid having meetings with his employees.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It's like, look, basically I hold this philosophy that if I need a meeting for it, I can probably just make it an email.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right.
And if I need a meeting for it, it can be a phone call, and if I need a phone call, it can be an email.
Yeah,
like,
right.
and he tries to just reduce it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a responsibility that you have as an employer, or like, you know, a CEO or some big shot at whatever. It's kind of a responsibility that you have to reduce the amount of noise that you send down.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's disruptive. It's like every minute that I have to spend at that meeting is either wasting my free time or wasting time that I have that I could be doing something that's actually profitable.
Yeah,
for the company.
Right.
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 So that's the thing you really have to consider. But man, I feel like here in Japan, it almost feels like it's like time for the boss just to feel like he can get some like social time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, it's funny though, because in the States, you know, now it's changed because remote working is becoming like the norm now. But for a long time, you had that problem in the States too, where the management, they aren't doing anything directly.
Yeah.
So they feel like they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So then they want to have the meetings to feel productive, but it's wasting everyone else's time.
Dude, okay, I'll tell you the most egregious offense that I've seen of this. So again, this was back when I first got here. We would arrive, and the senior staff at my school would be writing in the meeting notes as the meeting's going on.
Okay.
And it's just like, hey guys, all right, here's the topic that we're going to talk about today. And like, you can see there's like a live screen of them typing in the notes. And I guess, like, you know, I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments that are responding. It's like, oh, well, you know, they're doing that to provide notes for you at the end. And it's like, from my perspective, if you're having a meeting, these notes should have been made beforehand.
Yeah.
You should have made the notes so then you can show people like, hey guys, here's the notes of the things that I want to talk about today. This, and this.
Yeah.
Okay? Done.
Yeah.
Like, why are we writing in the notes right now?
Yeah.
Like, you know what this tells me? This is such a defeating thing to experience as an employee because it feels like this is endless.
Yeah. And
right?
also that the management's not prepared.
Right? It feels like, it feels endless. It feels like they're unprepared. And it feels like, okay, well, are we just coming up with problems on the spot?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of do you just want to see us?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you just coming up with reasons for why we have this meeting? Like, it feels like you just have no direction or purpose.
Yeah.
And that drives me insane.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I think, you know, it's interesting how in Japan, like, of course, in America, like I said, you have that toxic meeting culture, but here they take it to another level. But I feel like that also goes in with the whole culture of you don't leave the office until your boss leaves.
Yeah.
Thing too, you know?
Yeah.
And it's almost like one thing, you know, that really took me a lot of time getting used to in Japan is how ritualistic everything is. Like, you know, you say, itadakimasu, gochisou-sama, ojama-shimasu, you know, you go in on all these things. And it's almost like you also have the aisatsu, you know, in the class. It's like all of these things are clearly delineated by these rituals. And I feel like meetings are also another ritual that you have to have. And you should have. You don't know why you have them, but you just have them. Yeah,
I feel like they're kind of this they're this like leftover remnant of like 1980s businessman culture because I think if you go back like 50 years and it's dude, I still like to this day, like when I think of the 80s, I think it's like, oh, this was just 20 years ago.
I know. No, it was 40 years ago.
I know, dude.
85 was 40 years ago.
Oh my God. But like you go back to the 1980s in Japan and you look at the business culture and the companies were treated as families.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
All your friends were your coworkers, right? At least in Tokyo. I don't know if that was the case in the countryside, but like you can pretty much understand what business culture was like in the 80s here because like it's just it still kind of exists in places, and it's like your friends were your coworkers, your family was the company, right? And it's like, you know, the CEO or the shacho or whatever you want to call him was kind of like the patriarch of the family, right?
Yeah.
And so like, you know, as the patriarch, he kind of he got a lot of the spotlight, and it's like you kind of had to please him because like, you know, that was just what you did.
Yeah.
And so you kind of had to endure like you know, a lot of this meeting culture, you know, and it's like I think the concept of nomikai also kind of bleeds into meetings.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
that's where the real meetings happen.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's where a lot of like the actual decision making gets done. And you see a lot of people today, like younger Japanese people, they just flat out reject it. I just saw in the news that sakura viewing, and basically hanami is almost dead.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like the big popular places like Meguro, like Ueno, it's a really dying thing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there's still people doing it,
Yeah.
but like compared to what it was like,
Yeah.
decade or two ago.
And like all the people that I talk to, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do hanami. I just walk through the park and look
Yeah.
at the sakura.
And I'm at the point where I'll do it with my family.
Yeah.
I still enjoy doing it.
Yeah,
I enjoy hanami. I don't want to hang out with my coworkers though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not that I feel any like ill feelings towards them. I like the people that I work with,
they're
but
your
like
work people.
they're my coworkers. They're
Yeah.
not my friends. They're not my family. Like, I don't want to spend my free time with them. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so there's this big clash, and you definitely see it with meeting culture here, because one of the things that I think I just started seeing happen in probably the last 5 years, because let me just paint the picture, okay? 10 years ago, you go to a meeting here in Japan, and it's a very sterile environment. You have a clear person who's in charge of the meeting in the front. There is nothing on anybody's desk. It's like kids that are going to take a friggin' like exam.
Yeah.
Like nothing's on the desk. The teachers are all organized in their little groups, and they're just like listening to the person in charge drone on about something.
Yeah.
Now, what you see is a lot of younger people are bringing their PCs and like laptops and stuff, and they're just like doing their own thing, and it's like, this meeting is just not relevant to me. I have to be here because this is an all faculty meeting, but I'm just gonna, you're gonna waste my time. Well, I'm gonna use that time to be productive.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are doing that now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I mean, this was especially when I was in college, my final year of college in 2014, and I saw the people doing shiukatsu and all that stuff. Shishokatsu though, yeah. And it really hit me that work here is a continuation of school. It's like, because everybody, everyone after your spring vacation, you go into your nyushashiki, right? Which is nyuenshiki, nyugakushiki, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And you just go in, and then you work at your company. You have your teacher, which is your boss.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of do what you're told. You move forward. You don't have to think for yourself.
Yeah.
But now, because of like, I'm convinced it's social media, Instagram, and the fact that the world's media sources are becoming the same now.
Yeah.
That's where this change is happening. And a lot of the young people are thinking, wait, it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
And so now, like back when I first came to Japan, Mixi was the craze, right? Doesn't that take you back? Yeah, Mixi, right?
Yeah.
They came out with a Mixi 2, actually, for phone only.
That's so stupid.
I know. I tried to use it once, and it's just like...
As if it's a friggin' Disney sequel.
They just started it, and it already feels like Facebook. Like, no one uses it,
Oh my God, dude, we could have a whole nother episode of this. The amount of times that I feel like here in Japan that things have been invented that feel like they're just 10 years too late.
Yeah.
It's like things will come out here. Like I'll give you an example. I remember when JR started allowing pay by phone, and it wasn't even that long ago.
What do you mean by pay by phone?
Like you can use Apple Pay.
Oh, you can use Apple Pay,
or they had like the mobile Suica.
Yeah.
Right?
Mobile Suica.
And I want to say, I don't remember exactly when this started happening. I want to say it was somewhere around like 2020.
Yeah.
Do you think it was like around there?
It was around that time, I think.
Yeah, something like that, right? And I just remember thinking, like, I mean, we've had like Apple Pay since like 2010 or something in the US, or maybe it was even before that. But it's just like, I remember looking at that and being like, I guess finally. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like we've talked about this on the channel before. At least we've talked about it over lunch. But I feel like Japan is kind of delayed by about 10 years because I remember when I was doing ryugaku here and I was studying here, there was a blog post that went viral that talked about how Japanese web design is so different from American web design. And they were going into the philosophies of that. And as an example, they showed the Honda of America site and the Honda of Japan site. And it was completely different. Like the Honda of Japan side was so busy.
Yeah.
There was like coupons and stuff on it. It felt like a flyer. And they were talking about why it was like that.
Yeah.
So I revisited that blog post maybe last year or something. So about 10 years later. And now the two websites are almost identical.
Yeah.
It's like, it took about 10 years, but finally it's there.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, it's also like with cashless payments and stuff like that. But now, it's I feel like, because mobile phones, came out in 2007. Well, not mobile phones, but smartphones came out in 2007. And I feel like in the gap between 2007 and 2013, there was a lot of progress in the States, but it hasn't changed so much now. So I feel like things are much more on an even playing field nowadays.
Yeah.
But dude, I got to tell you, so I have you ever had oreiryu ramen before?
No.
Okay, so this is not a plug. They didn't ask me to sponsor them. But oreiryu ramen is my favorite ramen in Japan.
Yeah.
And let's see. I hope I can get images going here. Here we go. So this is actually quite popular with tourists now. But here, let me pull up a big thing. They have
looks like normal ramen.
I know. They have a bright orange sign that says oreiryu ramen. But the unique thing about them is it's shio ramen as a base. But they have all kinds of different ramen. They also have like shio tonkotsu, and they had like shio miso, ninniku and stuff. And I went there for the first time in a while yesterday.
Yeah.
But they started out in Shibuya and Daikanyama. I remember when there was only 2 locations. Now they're all over Japan. But for the longest time, their vending machines for the tickets, kenbaiki, they were cash only. And I went there for the first time in 3 years, and it was cashless. Like they had like the cashless payments.
That's wild. I've never been to a ramen shop that does cashless.
Yeah, right. And so it made me feel like, things are really changing now.
I don't know. Personally, I kind of hate that because I think part of the experience of going to a ramen shop is like, putting little coins in and getting your ticket.
Yeah.
Like if that goes away and it's cashless, then part of the experience dies with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you still get your tickets, but it's the payment is cashless.
Interesting.
But you also have to think about, so I think oreiryu ramen is really unique in the kind of toppings you can put on it. They have like iwa nori, they have tororo kombu, ume.
Yeah.
Yuzu
ume
kosho.
and ramen?
It's good.
Really?
It's good. Yeah. So they have all these like unique things.
Okay.
But so I think because of that, it caught up in the international like tourist circle, because now tons of tourists go there.
Okay.
But tourists are not good with cash.
No.
So that's probably why. But it's funny just how like things are changing, bringing it back to the main topic of meetings. Like, yeah, I feel like the younger generation, people who are younger than us, are like, F meetings. We don't need to be like this.
Yeah, I think there's like a big push in Japan. I think ever since COVID, COVID just blew the doors wide open here.
Yeah,
where it's like, I think a lot of it's kind of funny that this happened, but I think a lot of people when we had the lockdown and everything was shut down, a lot of people just realized like, I could just have a personal life.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't have to be at work 15 hours a day?
Yeah.
Whoa. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I think everywhere around the world really experience this, because that's why you have like, telework and I think we've kind of balanced out with telework instead of like being home all the time. It's like people kind of go to work like 2 times a week now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it really hit Japan because before COVID, I mean, I know a lot of teachers that were working at my school till like 10 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
And now, man, like you can't see somebody there past 6.
Yeah.
In fact, there was rules implemented like 6:30, doors are shut.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that mentality is just like a recent thing where it's just like I feel like there's a lot more thought in companies here in Japan that like I want my employees to be happy.
Yeah.
Because I think for the past better part of a century, there was this belief in business companies here in Japan that you needed to have loyalty to your job.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to be loyal to my job. I need to devote everything I have to my job. If that includes working overtime for free, and sacrificing my personal life, like I owe that because it brings everybody up.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of people have realized that that's just a load of crap.
Yeah.
And that's just a way for companies to
wages are so low here.
Dude, the wages are super low.
Yeah.
And it's just all BS, right? And it's just a way for companies to just like squeeze out every bit of proficiency out of you. And I think a lot of people have caught on to that. And one of the things that you'll see is a lot of people change jobs here in Japan now.
Yeah, it's happening a lot more now.
It's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You almost never saw people change companies in Japan. In fact, it was like really looked down upon. It's you changed your job?
Yeah.
Ooh, dude, what happened? What happened? Like, you're kind of like a sketchy person, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like a super common thing. Like people rotate jobs. You'll talk to them and like, what was the problem at your last job? Oh, it's fine, but I'm looking for a higher salary and like a new place.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a bad thing anymore. So yeah, it's it's funny because when we first picked this topic, I thought that I thought that I had a lot of negative things to say about Japan, and I do.
Yeah.
I do. But I do think that Japan's on a lot more positive trend right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, because and we can probably finish on this, but so as much as people say Japanese culture is unique, Japanese people are still human.
Yes.
We have the same brains.
Yeah.
And so if you get the same information, the same influence, you're going to act in similar ways. And now, kind of like I shared before, our media sources, and media is really just
I have something I want to talk about.
Oh, sure, we can do that.
But no, finish your thought, and I want to talk about this.
So, like, media is just a summation of the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. And so, when Americans get the same media source and Japanese people get the same media source because of social media, you tend to act in similar ways. And so now, like, everyone is just being human, and like everything's like we used to be like, oh, Japanese are like this, Americans are like this, but now there's more overlap.
Dude, I really want to emphasize this because I was just watching a documentary. I love YouTube documentaries where people just like deep dive into these topics. So Twitter, or X if you want to call it, they've invented this like AI called Grok, right? And it's been around for a few years. But one of the things that they've really pushed for in the past few years is doing auto translation.
Yeah.
And so one of the things about Japanese Twitter is it now auto translates into English.
Yeah.
And it'll do the reverse in English into Japanese. And what that has done is massively unite Japan and America.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. So this guy was talking about on YouTube how like Japanese people have had this, like, basically the doors have been opened to American culture.
Yeah.
And people are just like latching onto it. They're like, this is so freaking cool. You guys are basically like us.
Yeah.
And over in the US, it's like, oh wow, I had all these perception of Japan, and like, it just felt like this like otherworldly alien culture.
Yeah.
And it's like, turns out you guys just kind of like the same stuff we do.
Yeah.
And so this is really cool. And so you have like people traveling from Japan to like Texas to try barbecue.
Yeah.
And you have like, rednecks from, the deep South in America just going over and visiting Kyoto and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's this huge surge in like people feeling really close in these two countries.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me, man.
Well, also my dad, when my dad was visiting, one of his friends from Chile was coming too. And he had the iPhone earbuds that auto translate.
Okay.
And it's still a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
But the fact that my wife said something to him in Japanese and he could understand what she said and respond to her in English, that was, it took like a couple seconds between it. But the next step is that people are just gonna have earphones in
Dude,
there.
yeah, I mean, like, you look at Star Trek from, like, way back in the day where they had those,
Yeah.
like, gay little pins. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Star Trek that my
Look,
parents love.
I shouldn't be using gay as a pejorative, but it's just like, I don't know how else to describe them. It's like they walk around in spandex on the show. Like, what do you want me to say? But, like, they have these stupid little pins that, like, auto-translated all the alien languages
Yeah.
in real
Weird.
time, so it's like they just heard
Yeah.
English, you know? And I feel like we're getting there, though.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in Japan in another 10 years.
for sure,
you know?
man.